Todd was like, "Look at Mike. He doesn't even have a build order, and he's building towers." Despite I playing well, that was I was like that was like the shoddy like on my ledger. It was just like that stupid. Too many towers and no build order.
Yeah,
Yeah,
of course.
I didn't. I was just kind of playing, and it's is that going to work? Because William screams into the microphone.
I feel like Nate would scream out the McDonald's drive-through too, even though he walks right through the McDonald's drive-through because he's like 7 feet tall. He just like busts through that thing. He's like, "Here, I'm at the drive-through." Go, sir. You need to go to the drive-through. He's like, "Yeah, I'm through the drive-through." Like, no, sir. The ordering window. 5 windows. But he's like, let me tell you about elves. Okay, they're bullshit. Okay, they have immolation. They have keeper with entangle. And he just goes like on this whole rant about how elf is imba. And like, well, do you want the Whopper with fries, sir, or onion rings? He's like, moonwells are bullshit. Okay, it's like,
I could see him doing that too.
yeah, they're like, sir, it's like a 19-year-old woman there. She's like, this is my part-time job. Like, I go to school, and then I got an 8-foot giant here that's like, let me tell you about moonwells real quick, okay? They're fucking bullshit. Can I get that to go, please?
Would you like fries with that?
Yeah, you like fries with that? You want the shake? Oh, the shake's broken? Oh, let me tell you about let me tell you about fucking Entangle and Mana Bird. Hold on one second. He just comes in.
Oh my god, this is gonna
Oh,
this is gonna turn into a Warcraft 3 comedy podcast.
so you want me to give you the TLDR what I said earlier,
Well,
Mike, or
well,
like
let's first we'll go over. Let's do this appropriately. Let's do this like a regular
okay.
podcast. Uh, I've lots of experience doing this stuff, and originally we thought we would do a lot of interviews, and then time and scheduling is not there necessarily, and then sometimes people don't want to pop on a night, but we also thought that maybe we would use this as an opportunity to talk about the league and talk about some issues and talk about different things or stuff that vexes us, which we do have something that vexes us, actually a couple of things. And there's been a lot of different commentary from people the last couple of months, and some people with inappropriate behavior and acting stupid, and I don't mean streaming shirtless, I don't mean drinking, and I don't mean swearing and having fun. I mean just disingenuous behavior and stupidity. But before we get into that, this is Call to Arms podcast. It's a Warcraft podcast. I'm with Mr. Doomtrain. I'm Mr. Mike. So if you haven't heard any of the episodes before, most of the episodes right now are just there's some interviews from the guys in the community, but we're looking to get some of those done and completed in the future. But we're going to congratulate Mr. Doomtrain on becoming Division C NASF Season 1 champion of the world. Did not win the playoffs yet because that hasn't started, but did win first place in his division, going over 2-1 against Mr. Qraut. In a really tight series, I think, because, man, your Paladin was living on the edge. Tell us a little bit about it.
Oh man, the Paladin. So what I realized, I want to be honest. So I don't really play solo anymore. What I realized here the last month that Pala Rifle has taken over the community versus Lemes and Saul. And I talked to a couple of the nice thing about what we have here on Twitch is you get to pick the brains of very smart individuals. And the other thing too, like with War 3 champions, and this is kind of like my issue that I have is the division between like KK and which is something that has happened the last couple of months that my paladin lived on like 35 HP, and I tell you what, I was spamming the invulnerable button on my keyboard. Okay, thank God that he did not die at 22 HP or 17 HP. When you really try to mid max. But the whole thing is that I feel I'm a later pellet rifle adopter. I did it in FOM last 2 seasons ago. Um, I just feel like power spike wise, that is so much easier to play power rifle than it is for AM footman double sanctum, which is kind of what you run into in the meta. Uh,
Interesting.
one base, one base.
Well, Palo Rifle's got a timing push, right?
Yeah. And the thing is, though, you have more mistake room, I think, because you have 505 HP or 520 HP now on a rifle. Okay, and then you have 420 on a footman. But the thing is, though, without the Fed, footmen kind of get kited, and then you kind of have this range of 400 versus like 525 of the headhunters. But the thing is, though, the pros will skip an arcade tower, and what I did though is like, you need the arcade tower. Okay, I know I'm not that good. You definitely need an arcade tower
Yeah.
to help mitigate the farseer.
I always, I always tell people at our level or lower, get an arcane tower against orc farseer. It does extra damage against the summons, right? It'll buy you time if anything, because if you don't, they're just gonna run and kill all your peasants. And I think if you didn't have the arcane tower when you were pushing his base, I think it was in game 3 when your paladin was running around with 17 life.
Oh, the first game, yeah, first game
That
I
was the
went
first game.
Palo Rifle. Yeah, game 1 I went Palo Rifle, and so I looked at that. I'm still at tier 1. He's tier 2, but he didn't have Fortify, and he had a lot of army. I can't beat that straight up. I can't beat that straight up. So I had to make a decision of I sack my base, force him to TP, because I think for a lot of people, this is where the mind game set in. This is where you get to read people. I didn't look at any replays of what Qraut plays. So he beat everybody. He's 4-0. Very good player.
Yes.
So I'm not saying this is disrespectfully. I'm saying this because you get into the 4v4 mentality of, I'll sack my base. I have no problem losing my base. And for a lot of people, as soon as the base gets pressured, they go, oh crap, I need to TP. So I got tier 2, Alchemist. I actually made a mistake because you go healing spray before
Yep.
Shaman. Alchemist is super good with healing spray plus holy light. So for a lot of people like Leves, the higher MMR players that play Palo Rifle, you want to go Blood Mage. Blood Mage makes sense.
Yes.
But I go for a level 2 Farseer, which is only going to be 85 damage for Chain Lightning. You can actually out heal that with Heal Spray plus Holy Light. I went Devotion Aura, so you get 3 armor, 3. Like, people might think like I'm stupid for this, but there's a lot of merit into going Acid Bomb versus what he had composition wise, which was Headhunter plus Shaman. So medium armor, but they're reduced damage, which they have, I think, 0 armor. So it's actually like -2 or -3 at level 1.
Yes.
For the alchemists. And shamans take extra damage versus piercing already because they're unarmored, plus the reduction of negative armor. So he had no lightning shield. All he did was purge. I'm okay with that. So Alchemist in my brain makes the most sense as like I don't have enough time to build a blood mage. I need something now. And Alchemist is tempo. Alchemist is 100% a tempo hero.
Yep.
Like you need to go now.
Yeah. No, it was a good choice. I like that choice. And heal spray or acid bomb, those headhunters are going to fall rather quickly. And the whole point is not to let the game to go on any longer, right? It's like a true. I mean, it wasn't a true Pally rifle build, but it was Pally rifles into, hey, I'm on the fly here. Let me grab Alchemist. I want to finish this game now. And you were just kind of relentless, which, I mean, I have a discussion with Fourth Age about you because he had a little bit of salt in one of the games against you.
Yeah, yeah.
But prior
has been having salt for me for 2 years. Yeah,
oh,
of course.
But prior to that series with him, I was saying, I'm like, Doom's gonna pressure you. He's gonna tower you. He's gonna run around chase your units. Like he's ultra aggressive and unorthodox. So like you got to be ready for that kind of style. Like we've played before a bunch of times, and I've tried those type of things against me. Like it's hard, but if you can And I'm not calling it cheese because it's not necessarily cheese. Like it's ultra aggressive. And if you could fend that stuff off and really like deal with that kind of stuff, it's good. It gives you resiliency. But sometimes people have difficulty with
I
that.
I think part of it too is I like to keep strategies entertaining for my own sake, which is why the problem I have playing 1v1 right now, that the meta is so stale. Whether you buff or nerf human, that I've said this for years now, since I came back to the game a couple of years ago, that the game is so soft and it's so hard to find ingenuity of like what we saw Parallax when I casted the series yesterday, power building, which is so fascinating
Power
because
build the barracks and the altar.
yeah, the altar, because what I've noticed too is even Leon has gone back. I watched his stream the other day, and I pick his brain about a few things. And Leon's super cool about it. Like Leon is so wholesome in so many ways. And listen, the thing that we have about this community, that you could talk to Saul, you could talk to Leon, like people that stream or people that play the game and they put their information out there, they will give you answers based on what they think the game is. They will analyze their own gameplay and go, I think this is the right decision because of X, Y, and Z. I'm going to tell you this. I noticed yesterday on Leon's stream that he went back to the old school human build,
What is that?
which is altar, barracks, and then farm, which is what you'll see Fortitude do, which is the number one human in the world, which is absolutely dominated everybody, which I find so fascinating because Kenny G came up to me like a month ago, 2 months ago. He goes, "Hey, dude, I have a question about a build order." I go, "Yeah, what's up?" He goes, "Listen, as far as altar farm, where you one hit like max efficiency, you take one hit on your peasant to build a farm, and then you go barracks. Most of the time, though, realization it's gonna be 3 hits, which is fine. So it's gonna be like 50 HP, 47 HP, which I think in the grand scheme of things, it's gonna maybe like 2 seconds, maybe 1.5 seconds. But this is what got me thinking yesterday that 18 years ago, power building, especially on Twisted Metals, was such a big thing. So you would go 2 to 3 peasants, power build your altar, barracks, because back then we didn't know about creep aggro. So the thing that is so intuitive now, like I try to explain to people, imagine you don't know any of this at all, okay? And everything is so hidden and foreign to you. You don't know about creep pulling, that you were okay with losing 3 peasants or 4 peasants to the golem.
Interesting. Hey,
So, I'm sorry, Mike. Go
no,
ahead. I apologize.
no, go ahead. I just, it's interesting. I was thinking that 18 years ago, you have this meta that nobody knows about stuff. Like I remember Grubby talking about when he was playing in some of the world championships and stuff like that. Like people would just go straight up fight the fight and not move their units.
Yeah.
They didn't even move their
zero
units out
micro.
of it.
Yeah, you would just go blow for blow, unit for unit. Like Ted had this very fascinating, which I would love to see, like which you have touched upon when we have conversations, like a nerf to the cost, or a buff, I guess, but a nerf to others. The cost of tier 2 for all races across the board, and then like more gold, right? Which would actually, I think, would cause later games, because the thing is, people watch the pros now, and this is what like I try to tell people. Imagine at a time where you could watch games instantly. You had to dig through those for strategy. The people that were in the know, everything was so gate kept.
Yeah.
Okay, like I try to tell people this. Like when I used to write for WC replays,
Mm-hmm.
I used to have to dig and dig and dig and dig, and people played so bad. The average 1300 MMR player would beat most semi pros from 2005, without a doubt. Mechanics alone.
I think so. think so. It's completely changed. Even going back just a couple of years when I started getting into Warcraft again, like a 1200 player 3 years ago or 4 years ago is not a 1200 player today, right?
No,
And
no. Is that for a couple of reasons, Mike? Do you think, or
I think because the community is generally getting smaller and the players that are staying are the ones staying, that maybe over long period of time they're improving and moving up in ranking, and then so it pushes people up and down. So maybe you have people that were 1500 that never made it up but stayed, and then they kind of moved down a little bit, and they're kind of a really good, they're like an old 1500 but kind of stuck at 14 or 13, and the MMRs are the same, but what people do poorly or do well in them now are different. So like
oh,
let's say,
without a doubt.
right, you watch the 1200s now compared to a couple of years ago, and they're like doing body blocks and doing denies,
Yep.
and they didn't do that when I first started a couple of seasons ago. Like, it's been 2 years now, and I've already seen the difference in that. Like, I guess I'm 1500 ish turning orc and undead, but like the 1500s are not the 1500s from a couple of years ago. And then, like we look at PSJ. PSJ was, I think, our MMR range from a couple of seasons ago, and now he's 1600 plus.
Yeah. Yep.
I
I
don't.
beat PSJ at a Open Cup a couple weeks ago. A month ago. I did Palatech against him. I laid the crap out of him.
That's crazy.
But that's the thing is like I see Caddy, a lot of the players like you, Mike, 12, 1300 up to 1500, and I don't know if it's necessarily inflation. And I'm not saying that like disrespectfully. I'm saying like what you said, as the player pool gets smaller, and the people that really want to stay, I think the skill standard average gets amplified by 1,000. So uh what I said today too is because I watch a lot of Warcraft even when I should be charting. It gets me in trouble at times, but it's because of the mental aspect of the game, like Dota and all these other real time strategy games, MOBAs. That if someone finds a niche of what works, everybody is going to adapt to that. So I think subconsciously mechanics are artificially there without the realization of them being there. So I think you can define the meta, which might not actually be correct, but because you see a high level pro works versus a high level pro, and that's what you think is going to work, and then you get into these balance issues that, oh well, this should work because they do this. Well, that's because they think the most well-defined strategy is this. And now you look at the issues like Happy. Happy is lost versus human. He has no idea what to do.
Well,
Crippler,
yeah, his problem is, and I've for the last couple of games I've seen. Well, one, we can talk about the exchanging of show matches and events, and it's almost like, hey, you're not stupid. You're the best player in the world, or we're the best player in the world. Like, what works and doesn't work, and you don't adapt. Like, you're still going ghouls. You're not adapting, and it's almost like it's kind of on purpose.
well,
I'm not saying
my
he
other
is.
thing would be to say to that, to interject with that, would be match fixing, which I have no doubt that goes on in any of the professional level. I would stand on that. I would die on that hill, 100%.
So
That with where there's match fixing because of esports bets, where to place bets. That has been plaguing the community for close to 25 years. StarCraft.
yeah, yeah. It's anyways, I'm not necessarily accusing anything. I'm just saying from a person watching matches, or like a viewer on the outside and looking at this and seeing, we watched all the Back to Warcraft happy matches and seeing the evolution of stuff and what people are doing, or
Yep.
like, why would you continue doing something doesn't work unless you're actively trying to make it work, but you might possibly lose? Like, you should be, and he should be the one innovating because he's the best player in the world. Like, he should on a dime be able to. It's kind of weird, like he missing a couple coils here and doing some stuff that, like you could tell when an 1800 player comes in and tries to smurf and be 1400 or 1300 at and try to get into cups and stuff, or like you, if I casting your replay and you're spamming APM and you're doing like 150 APM at 1100 level, it's a bit weird. I'm not saying that APM is important because generally it's not. Like you can be a higher, you can be 1800 with 100 APM, but it's a bit weird. Like, moving your units like this, stuttering, like point A, point B, point A, point B, but then all of a sudden killing a sheep, casting a skeleton, and aggroing your ghoul off from being destroyed while creeping an orange camp. Like, and I'm saying this because it's just happened recently. It's a little bit fishy. I'm just saying. Anyways,
Yeah.
people do things, right? But anyways,
Well,
I went off
and
on a tangent.
my whole other thing too is like, people get so wild up in the meta of the pros that the thing is the creativity of your own gameplay kind of gets tainted in that way, that you don't get to free think of what works or might not work. And what I've been saying for 7 months or 6 months when the last big patch came out, I said Firelord is broken. I said Firelord is absolutely broken.
Well, I really enjoy the Fire Lord. I would say it probably needs, like anything else, some rework. Demon Hunter, for example. But I copied the Slade build that he used to use, and that what took me to gain my highest MMR with Undead when I was going Cryptlord Firelord. Like the extra damage and the soul burn and the summons,
No.
which just it's insane. And I would love to see somebody better than me do it. Like go do Cryptlord Firelord and go rush people with ghouls and go get summons and try to finish the game early. It's kind of like Pally Rifle, but it's not Pally Rifle. It's just ghouls and summons.
Well,
Like go.
what I would say is like if you watch X-Lord a few months ago, X-Lord really kind of figured it out versus human that human. I've been saying this for a couple of years since I switched to human. For 4v4, it was more because no one would make gyros that I was kind of pigeonholed to play human, and it's kind of funny that creativity wise, especially in solo. So some people might think what I do is cheese, but I go, it's more like the player, what units work, what units don't work, right? So, like, I've been saying Soulburn has been absolutely busted since it got reworked. It's 8 seconds, 6 seconds, level 1 with 75% damage reduction. That is so good.
Yeah, it's very good.
So, my whole thing is like, if you play Orc Mirror, you go Firelord, Farseer Firelord versus Blade Master Headhunter. You have catch now. You get to the point of where if you got like one bestiary, or if you're playing like Pala Rifle, which we're starting to see a lot more, which has been taking prominence over. I mean, obviously, we know Pala Rifle has been in the forefront here for a few months. But when Fortitude starts playing Pala Rifle, everyone's going to start taking a look at it, right? So Starbuck beat happy with it. It's you got the top of the top, the cream of the top of players. Like my whole thing is, someone asked me earlier, and I go, well, if you play Firelord, they're like, what? Why'd you go Firelord third? I go, well, I need DK to sustain the Crypt Lord and to help heal. And if I go Firelord third, you either shut down the Blood Mage or you shut down the Paladin. Soulburn. There's no question. You don't need anything else. And he attacks fast enough that you put Orb of Corruption on him. That is essentially a Lich. You can't heal him. That the DPS machine that comes out here with a silence. So you get something of a hybrid of a Lich with a Dark Ranger. And you don't get skeletons, you don't get the AoE Nova, but you do get silence with damage reduction, which I think is so huge. The way the meta is of there's not so much the smaller fights. It's more like I hit my timing, you hit your timing, let's go. That I would like to see skirmishes. Like Ted used to do this tier 2 timing, like on Echo Isles. He would go one Temple of the Damned, one Slaughterhouse. So you would go like uh, 2 Banshees, for curse anti-magic shield and 1 statue to help sustain the mana. And this is going back 19 years ago, 20 years ago. I mean, if you really think about it, like it's crazy to think like the revolution of gameplay,
Yeah.
especially for strategies, that we don't see the skirmishes too much anymore unless you are ultimately decided that you're invested into that skirmish, or the hit and run with like an orc lane gameplay. But I don't really call it lane play as like what it used to be, which was hit and run. You take a handful of raiders. Grubby is really good at this, of the humans invested at protecting either their expo or their main base. And again, I tell you, because the game is different now, that it's not. It's starting to become more like StarCraft, where you have to protect 3 different angles of your base: the expo, the main, where you're fighting. That there's either beetles, there's a ghoul run by, 5 footies, maybe like 3 raiders, with pillage, and you get all that back.
I haven't seen too many raider lames lately. I find people have gotten away from them a little bit. But we used to see it a little bit more with Shockwave. We don't see it too often now.
I think with the TC nerf to Stomp that happened, it's right when I started playing again. I know the TC Stomp, that it used to be 7 seconds for a 5-second cooldown, or 6. It was like 1 second. So it's not that bad. Like MK got the similar nerf, the AoE reduction.
Yeah.
I know like both that time, because Tyrannistan was like a big meta map. And even in Human Mirror, you go Zeppelin drop, Mountain King first, which I think there's certain things I would like to see, not meta, maybe more like here and there. And it's so hard because people play what works. So the experimentation level kind of goes away from that. But then as soon as you see experimentation and it works, like, oh my God, why haven't I thought about this? I go, because you just see what you see on the screen. You don't really think about it.
Yeah. Well, I think it's a good segue into, we could we could talk about balance and the things, and that maybe that could be a like I always wanted to bring North Chakar on for like, let's do, I don't want to call it creep jack, because that's what Neo and them do, but like a another intervention, kind of like let's dissect something. Let's dissect undead and cryptlord fiends and necromancers with North Chakar. Let's dissect tower rushing with Doom. I don't know what we would call that, but I think that'd be cool if we could do kind of that kind of stuff. But let's
deep dive into strategy. Something like 5 head moves. I mean, I think to a lot of people, like it's just more. It doesn't matter what you do, any pro sport or any game you play or anything like this. There's 2 people involved. You can really apply pressure, and I think like you say, Mike. My style, I play is hyper aggressive. Does it always work? No. Do I ever claim to be the best player? Absolutely not. But what I'm going to tell you is, people get set in a certain way of like what a human's going to do or what an orc's going to do. Well, what happens when they're just up in your face, and you don't play against that all the time?
Nope.
You don't know what to do, because there's no booklet for it.
You got to think on your feet.
And that's exactly it. So what I lack in micro macro is, I think about what units would work, or hero strategies, certain maps. And I'll give you a prime example, Mike, because what you said earlier, Hammerfall, which I found out accidentally, which is why I use this. I go proxy 2 racks.
Yeah.
And people are like, why do you 2 racks? I go, well, I think certain timings it will work against, especially for humans and orcs. Okay, so if you go headhunters, I went early defend. I went defend after 3 footmen.
I saw that was very smart.
So, and I go, well, he pressured me first game, because everything is all about information. And you really have to absorb everything that happens, every reaction. And I go, okay, he went full pressure, kind of like fourth age. And I go, I think I got the answer. And I think Hipposaurus, I think on that map actually went 2 footmen defend, which really worked against a very high MMR orc. He played against Sora. Sora is like 2200. Sora is like no laughing matter. Sora is a very good orc. Okay. And I watched it because I go, when I did EMA Cup, and this isn't the plug-in, I'm just saying this is what I recall because, it was the best of 7. And I remember watching it, and I go, because in my brain, Todd will tell you to go 3 footmen defend like in 4s. And I kind of keep the similar mentality in solo because wood is very abrasive for the human race. Like, you need so many peasants to get 100 wood plus your expo plus tech. You're looking at something like 450 wood. That's a lot.
Yeah.
If you only have 7 to 9 peasants, you have to make a conscious decision. What do I do? Do I expand? Do I tech? Or do I pressure? And I think for a lot of people, they don't know how to handle pressure.
Unless you're
And
night
you
elf,
watch-
unless you're night
No,
elf,
yeah,
you can
yeah,
expand
night
and
elf can
tech
do
at
it
the
all.
same time.
Yeah, 100%. With more HP. Like, I can eat a coil, I get 5 HP, it's no problem. Let me just go back to my moonwall. I don't complain of balance. I complain what's given to me. So it is what it is. I don't complain of balance whatsoever. If something like you find weaknesses and you find things that work and are cohesive with each other. I think that's the problem is people are just so defined by what the pros do. They don't really think about other things that work. Like North Dakar has been playing Crip Lord for God knows how long. Buff,
He's the
nerf,
Beetle King.
buff, nerf, buff. CL Fiends. I'm going to tell you what, when I played NA Cup last week, and I got to like top 8, top 12, whatever, like the third losers round, right? And I'm like, okay, I can expand. He had 100 supply of units at like minute 6.
Yeah.
Dark Ranger, Fiend.
The summons and the fiends, and it's Dark Ranger or Firelord. Like, that's what I'm saying. I can't wrap my head around getting the fiends out like he does. But if I mix in ghouls, if I just do it with ghouls, I can expand or pressure. And if somebody harasses me with like a Farseer or whatever, I just decide to sit and going all in, and I just keep going all in, kind of like what you did today.
Yeah, well, sometimes you just have to say F it and go with your gut, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to read the situation. And people are so second guessing themselves. And I think that's the biggest issue. So in game, they're like, well, Happy does this or Happy does that. But that doesn't correlate to the game that you're playing in now. And I'll tell you what, Happy with 26 supply will beat you even though you have 50 supply.
Definitely. Well,
which is insane.
I learned something. I learned something about myself is that no matter what the MMRs are, 600 MMR can defeat you in an FFA. When I was we were playing on Show Match Friday, and we did a 1v1, V1, V1, V2, V2, and then Hyperreal, I forget who his partner was, came in, they started attacking me, and I rolled Night Elf, and I'm like, I'm not the best Night Elf player, but okay, let's figure this out. And then, I was doing okay, and then the other 2-player team showed up. So I had 4 versus 1 at one point, and I just got completely smashed. Units are overwhelming, but no, those guys played pretty well. That was humbling.
Well, let's talk about that FFA the other day, Mike, that we played in last Sunday, if I recall.
Yes.
And everybody, it was so funny that they thought somebody else was Doom, and they're like, "Oh, that's Doom." I go, "That's not me."
Was that on our FFA match?
Yeah, the Todd FFA. Yeah.
Oh, the Todd FFA match. I thought.
Yeah.
I thought Cage was Floss.
It was so funny because I was hungover after a day of drinking the day before because Chad got me drunk. They're like, "Oh, Matt, here's some donations. Keep it going." They're like, "Oh, we love it." I wake up. I'm like, Todd sends me a Discord message. He goes, "Oh, we got that FFA in 35 minutes." I go, "Oh my God, I feel like death warmed over. I am too old for this." Okay. Okay, so I'm like looking at my base, and I'm trying to expo, and I have Cass right next to me, and Cass does not say one word to anybody as he kills everybody. And I look over, and it's probably 17 minutes in the game. I'm 3-1-1. This guy is 7-7-7. I'm
He
like, what the fuck
he,
is going on?
he devoured Williams.
And then somebody thought N. Williams thought was me, and I go, I don't flame like about balance, and they're like, oh, that's N. Williams. I think Flossie knew it was N. Williams without even realizing it was N. Williams. And of course, then I get Cage, who rushes me because he has no laws of FFA, rushes me. So I go to Cass, which I didn't know was Cass, but I had a feeling it was like a high level undead MMR. Just the way he played, he comes out with his Tinker. I was level 3. His Tinker was level 5. And it was just, like 8 minutes in the game.
He was milking off at Williams, and it's funny because I didn't know what was going up in the northern part of the map because I was kind of stuck at the bottom in the southern eastern part. And on the right side of me was a human who I thought was Williams. So in past FFAs that we've done, Williams has gone out his way to footy defend, rush, and take out your expo. So I invested in all kinds of towers. I'm like, I'm gonna get sacked here. Let me just invest in towers. Only to find out later that Todd was like, look at Mike, he doesn't even have a build order and he's building towers. despite I playing well, that was I was like that was like the shoddy like on my ledger. It was just like that stupid. Too many towers and no build order.
Yeah.
I didn't. I was just kind of playing, and my kids were kind of running around and stuff, but and so he was on my right, Williams, but I didn't know that. That was no, sorry. I thought he was on my right, but it was actually Floss. On my left was Orange, which was Cage, but I thought that was Floss. And I go in with my Blade Master when he expanded, and I'm just poking the bear, right? I just want to see what's going on because you go left, you go right. I'm surrounded, and he's like, "Hey, whatever." I'm like, "Okay, peace, no problem." I leave him alone, and then for the rest of the game, he keeps telling everybody like Red Strong, we got to go after him, and he keeps hitting me, and then he's like, I'm standing there, and then he comes up to me and attacks me and says, hey, you attacked me first. He was like kind of one of those people driving a car with insurance frauds and stops the brakes on the highway and you hit their bumper. It was like the same thing, and I'm getting pissed, right? And I'm like man, it's got to be Floss. Everybody Floss. But then I'm thinking about it later on in the game, and I'm like, Floss is not that stupid. Like he wouldn't do this. But I couldn't think about who it was. I'm like, it's definitely not you. I know it was you because you were sending tanks across the map and they were hitting me, and I'm like, what the hell's going on here? And Williams was like, somebody help me, help me, help me. Nobody was helping Williams because they were too busy hitting me. I was so pissed.
Well, every time I looked over, like Cage would hit me. I didn't realize it was Cage, but I should have known it was Cage because we played at FFA a few weeks ago. I got teamed by him and another guy, but he broke the unbroken rule, which is like you don't rush beyond, like you don't rush the guy, and he rushed me. So I'm like, you get your expansion up, you get your economy, and I go, listen, I'm just asking for peace. I'm trying to figure out what's going on. And then like when I left the game, it's Cage. I go, Cage is so bad mannered in an FFA. Like you don't rush. Like what I learned from Todd and Awkward and some other players of how it's like 15 minutes or 12 minutes you wait before you attack somebody, right? You get your economy going, tier 3 tech, you get your 3 heroes out, and then I just get attacked. I got Cass on one side who doesn't tell you who he's attacking because he's 420'd out. So he just goes in, he's like, I'm just going to win this, no problem. The ultimate bad manner. And then I got to my right is Cage. And then I just see N. Williams just typing a whole crap load of stuff. I had no doubt who N. Williams was. And somebody's like, oh, Flossie was trying to act like N. Williams. And then he got caught out that he was not N. Williams because N. Williams, Nate already left the game. I go, this makes no sense. And then somebody else thought what you wrote EMA, so they thought you were me. So I go, you wrote right at the beginning. And I go, They're like, "Oh, that's Doom," and I'm like, I'm sitting here with my 20-minute delay. I'm like, "Yeah, that's not me."
I do that
But
to throw them off.
oh, it's hilarious. But I think we want to get to a big issue tonight,
Let,
Mister Mike.
let's get into some bigger
Uh,
issues.
yeah, let's.
What's been grinding your gears or our
What's
gears?
been grinding my gears? Okay, so what kind of what I said today? I know you can clip it in my 27-hour stream, or
I'm going to clip it
I
too. I'm going to clip it.
kind of what I've been grinding. So this is my issue. Uh, people, and this has been going on for since I started playing again, so 2 years. We have open cups. We have generous groups, Fauna Manor, GNL, EMA, NASF. I was trying to go alphabetical. Obviously, that didn't work. American language. Anyway, it comes to a point, Mike, I think that people want their cake and eat it too. And you're going to ask, Doom, what do you mean by that? And I go, well, people that invest $0 into an open cup want a participation trophy. They want handed to the semifinals or the quarterfinals or a free win or a def win without realizing it's an open cup or it's an open bracket. And I have a big issue with this because I had this issue in my cup, which is why I changed my MMR bracket and people still got mad. And I said it kind of like an FU kind of way. And I said this to about seven players. I said, this is free money. You sign up with a chance to win.
It is free money. Well, you know what? The thing about the money that we accumulate when we do NA cups or Mayo cups, which by the way, I'll get to Mayo cups in a second, is that I try to accumulate that kind of stuff from the stream. I don't make a lot from the stream. If I accumulate enough for an NA cup, I take it and I put it towards an NA cup, and that's it. And then luckily in the last, I guess couple of weeks that we started doing the league, we got a bunch of donations from the guys on Matcherino that pretty much raised the majority of the pool money, the prize money. I was going to find a way to fork it up anyways if we didn't get any donations. And so it's coming from the community, and any of the money that comes from my stream is coming from the community. So guys are coming and subbing or they're donating. We had a bunch of guys donate 10 subs, 25 subs. We had a couple people drop $100 each on Matcherino.
Largemouth bass. Shout out to Largemouth bass.
Shout out
huge.
To huge,
huge.
And even the guys on Matcherino that donated there too on top of him. And Slayer dropped 10 plus subs or whatever recently. It's community money. Like, I'll be the first to tell you, like, I'm in Canada and things are bloody expensive, and I help out family members and stuff, and I got debt too, and I'm in the hole, and I got problems, and I got health issues, and I'm tired, and I've had multiple concussions, and this is a break from real life. So as much as making a little bit of extra cash on the side would help, I like the camaraderie and the engagement from the community, and it kind of saved me when I was off on my third concussion. I would much prefer to give it away, because at the end of the day, what's $50 or $100? Hey Phil, what's that kind of money? Nothing. So and I guess it goes back to when I used to have those discussions with Slady and how we can bring Show Match Friday back, because they used to be a thing before when I wasn't around. And I'm like, and I wanted to cast, and I was getting into Fountain Manor, and I was doing all these things, and I'm like, I really liked how everybody kind of like selfishly kept me together. Like, I was depressed, I was crying on the couch with the concussion pains, and I watched back to Warcraft, and I found Baron, and I found all these guys, and I come out, and I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna stick to this. It seems really entertaining. And then I meet you and a bunch of guys, and I'm like, wow, the community's fantastic, and everybody's been great to me, aside from, I would say, recently, where a bunch of people have not been so great to me. which I do not appreciate. But the whole point is the money that we make from the stream comes from the community. And so going, let's say, to Mayo Cups, we started doing Mayo Cup, which was 1400 and under. And I was thinking, kind of like what we're doing now, is like, want to do stuff where I belong, grassroots. And then we're like, well, everybody kind of enjoyed it. So let's do spicy Mayo Cups. And then that's like 1800 and under, because none of the pros are going to come to us, right? In my mind. And then people start smurfing and trying to get under the cap and smurf for $10, which, by the way, I clipped that video and I put it on YouTube, and it's got like 900 views or something, or no, yeah, or 1400 views.
When I let him cook, and then and I just went on a whole tirade about that. I said it's sad that you're gonna have to lie to other people for $10.
Yeah,
$15.
and
It's sad.
and then I clipped that and I put it as a video onto YouTube, and I was really upset about that. And then I had people messaging me about that whole incident, saying, can you give him leeway, money, this, that, or like, you're telling me there's a war going on, but you're busy streaming Warcraft 3 at the same time. Don't give me that shit. Like that, like see through the nonsense that's going on. Okay, I don't care.
100%.
I don't care. Like I care bad stuff happens to people, but don't like paint a picture of what's going on, and then make a fake account and do this, and then send your friends, and that started the beginning of what I really disliked. And so we haven't done a Mayo Cup, really. Well, actually, we stopped the spicy Mayo Cups and everything. We were like, let's see where we're at. And then we did one Mayo Cup, and the last Mayo Cup there was kind of like there wasn't much interest, so we just haven't done them since. But so there's kind of a reason why we haven't done those. And then we're like, let's evolve, let's do something different, let's do the NA Cups, when we're trying to get something engaging for everybody. I know in 8 cups it's all MMRs and guys like myself, and maybe Hyperreal will get crushed in the first round, and we're like, okay, but it's for the community, right? We do on Fridays, we'll do show matches, and we'll do FFA games, and we'll just do some fun stuff. Fine, no problem. And then had to deal with some bad apples. But then you start hearing things about people, like there's certain people I will not allow in the Discord or to participate in the events based on past racism and different things like that. They're like automatically banned. Williams is pretty vocal on those guys. They maybe they come to the channel. They're not blocked from my channel, but they're not allowed to participate, even though they've never done anything to me. They're enough, I say, witnesses or people that have experienced it or know of it or seen it, that your behavior is unjust, and I don't want that kind of stuff. So, and then lead into Baron getting sniped. And I believe it's not necessarily a rule in W3C about sniping people on ladder stuff, but it's really disingenuous. It's not appropriate. And to me, that's kind of like cheating, even though there's not a lot of players available, and W3C is kind of like, spread thin and that kind of stuff. And, it's happening to Baron. It's happening to a lot of people. And then it started happening to me, which was really, we can talk about the Sherlock Holmes detective story about who is stream sniping me on Battle.net and FFAs, and then quitting when I left to go search and queue up immediately with me and to be undead and be exactly who it was. So was it one person? Was it 2 people? Was it 3 people? Was it people harassing me? There's a couple people out there maybe watching right now or listening, who do go out of their way to go talk some trash about me in some channels and to other people, and they've done it before and they've done it now, and they're probably going to do it again. I don't give a fuck. Like, go do it. I don't like it, but you're not welcome in whatever we're doing here, and I don't need to deal with it, so I'll just block you. It's fine. But it's going on, and fine, it's going on. It doesn't matter. Okay, so continue forward. People are sniping, people are cheating, people are making Smurf accounts and having 25 or 100 accounts, pretending to be different people, to pretend to be different MMRs, and we have to deal with that. And then we have to ban people. We had to ban another. I think we've banned like at least, not a lot, but at least 5 people from the Discord for stupidities, and disingenuous behavior. and we're trying to do community stuff. I guess there's some people that are doing it for money. There's some people that are doing it to be assholes, and there's some people that are just genuinely sick. And I don't know. Like, is this a place for for them to come like be multiple personalities? Um, are Smurf accounts against rules in W3C? I don't know if they are, but I'll tell you that they allow you to change your name, right? Doom, like they allow you to
Yeah,
change your name.
so you pay the $10 fee. You get one free to change your account through BattleNet, and then after that is $10. So, like, kind of what you touched upon, Mike. I have no doubt I've been stream sniped. I have no doubt I've been ghosted. You know, I play random. Suddenly, you know that I'm human. I'm expanded on the inside without scouting. No doubt. Did set a wisp out. You just know where I am at the exact moment.
It,
Is it concrete proof? Obviously not. But you know, and I know, where bear shits in the woods, bear shits in the woods.
yeah,
So, unfortunately, a lot like life, Mike, people don't want to see people happy because they feel excluded from that for whatever reason. So rather than just be like, hey, you know what, let me go find my own way, they rather piss at your Wheaties. And that's the exact way I put on it. That I call it like I see it. I don't mince words, Mike. You know that. I tell you exactly, something really chaps my ass. It has to. Because what you're only doing is destroying the community that's already small and you're making it smaller. So you want to, throw a game for $20 or you want to smurf for $20 and claim that's not you, Mr. Malik. I'm just saying that's the last, or, people that want to talk in third person or, uh, the issue I've had is with Ollie, a Polish human player. Great for 4v4. But even the evidence from Barrett was like, dude, he's stream sniping you. Because the only time he plays 1v1 is when you're streaming.
well,
Can I
uh,
stop that? No.
he pretty much aired out that laundry in Saul's Discord
Yeah.
about being proud and really want to piss off Baron and he was doing it on purpose. And I'm like, yeah, okay, well, I banned him from this Discord. Like, no, that's not okay. And I'm not saying don't make other accounts. I don't like it. I think everybody should have one account, stick to it. That's it. But
Yeah.
there's ways of going about it. Yeah, Doom had multiple accounts, but Doom's not going out of his way and using that disingenuously and to harass people or snipe people or pretend he's 1100 MMR to go crush people. There's people, and I know some, and I know a bunch, and I've had dealt with them. They're making all kinds of AKAs to play at lower MMRs because one, they feel like crushing people or having fun. Two, they can't find games. Fine, I get it. Three, they're just doing it to harass people, and
Right.
it's not okay. Like, let's just the elephant in the room is like it's just people doing it to be a nuisance, and we're gonna
Correct.
actively, and we have already, dissociate ourselves with those people, remove them, and that'll be that. Like, I'm not, I don't have to do any events. I don't have to give away any of the stream money. We don't have to raise
Correct.
anything. We could just stop, like Baron said. If they're going to keep stream sniping him, he just won't play, and he won't stream.
Yeah, and it sucks because you have a guy that has been monumental to the community, and say what you want about Barrett. To a lot of people, I want to complain about. Listen, he does every weekend. Every weekend, he doesn't have to do it, but what he does for the people to get those MMR going to play the King of the Hills, and he's been doing it since I started coming back a couple of years ago. That um, it sucks when you have a 2000 MMR player that plays off race orc as 1400.
Yeah.
Um, beat him once feels good, but knowing that you're just going to be continually sniped by them, There's something to be said for like with Todd with a 10-15 minute delay. I said as a streamer, it takes away from the audience. But I said at the same time, if you're gonna have assholes ruin the game, which they are, they're assholes. We're not gonna sugarcoat it. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. I'll tell you exactly what it is. It's sad and pathetic that somebody has nothing going on in their life where they think like, you know what, man, I'm just gonna ghost the shit out of this guy, tell him what a big noob he is, even though I can see every action he does on my second monitor and feel good about myself. That's like watching your wife get plowed and you feel good about that. That's exactly what that is. But the problem is they don't have a wife because they're so miserable that they don't leave their basement out of their mom's and dad's house. It's sad. It's truly sad. And their justifications are horrendous. It's horrendous.
So there's that, right? There's the account smurfing, which technically is not illegal, but Echo Goodman saying earlier it just disappeared, saying that he sees nothing wrong with kind of seeing somebody on ladder and queuing up to play them and then playing them but not actually watching their stream. I listen, there's not a lot of players that happens. I like sometimes I'm playing and I'm watching Williams or Doom and then I queue up and I get Doom in fours, which not often, or solo, which is not often, or Williams, which happened a couple times, but then I have to turn the stream off and I do. Um, it's happened, right? But there's people who have actively queuing up to do that, to play certain people, just to play certain people. It's not okay either, right? It's kind of not okay. But again,
well, then the big issue is then you run into, well, I know you're in my channel, and then you look like you're ghosting me because your actions that I don't think, and this is based on like what you play against people, what you think they do and what they do in game doesn't necessarily coincide with what they do as a creature of habit, because people are creatures of habits. They really do what they're comfortable with.
yeah.
For a
But
certain matchup, you could play Crypt Lord or you could play DK or Lich or it's very suspicious when I can tag you in my Twitch channel and you make some suspicious moves. Can I accuse you of ghosting? Well, bro, you're still at my fucking stream.
yeah,
I'm not gonna sugarcoat it and just say, oh, I'm gonna swear. Oh yeah, yeah. Like I know you watch. I don't put a delay on, and then people get mad when you put a delay on, and then you watch them like, oh, you got stream sniped. Well, what do you want as a viewer? What would you like? Quality games, or someone get cheated out of their gameplay? Can you tell me what would you enjoy more? Because the further I get into it and the further the audience grows for your stream, the more I understand why Todd puts a 15-minute delay on. If I want to be totally blunt, totally understand why.
so there's those issues. There's been on my end. There's been several people and other individuals I've had to deal with that have been sending me messages and harassing me or relentless on issues that are just insignificant and don't like reasons given, don't like apologies, or something small. Like I'll apologize, like said something stupid or whatever, and someone says, Mike, I didn't like what you said on stream or whatever. I'll listen and I'll take a look and I'm like, hey, you're probably right, maybe you're right. But sometimes you say stuff and you're tired and you're just kind of ranting, or it's 3 a.m. and you don't know what's going on. Like I think people more or less know who I am and what I do and how I present myself, and I'm not a disingenuous person, and I'm not somebody who's here to rock a boat or put anybody down, or if I'm critical of somebody's gameplay while casting, it's not because I'm better than you, it's because I'm trying to cast and talk about what's going on. Or but it's 3 a.m. and I'm not doing a good job talking about the game, but I'm also trying to allow people to play, it's because we're still trying to keep the show going and play and all that kind of stuff. But anyways, I I will apologize for things that I've said or done, and own up to the responsibilities of things, right? But if that's not okay, and then somebody relentlessly harasses me in people's Twitch chats, which in also has happened in Doom's chat, which I've never said anything. It's happened in other people's chats who are using the R word to describe me, or constantly insult me every time I go to a Twitch chat. I block that person. I no longer have to see that kind of stuff. It's not okay. So that person is not allowed near me. The Discord, my events, none of that stuff.
Well, Mike, what's funny is when I put people on blast like that and how quickly they crumble, because people in life now, they want to hold no accountability without giving disagreements. So there's a few people that come to mind, and I go right to them. I don't DM them. I put it right there on the channel, on the bod. What, you can listen to it. What do you have against somebody that has done nothing to you? What hair has across for someone that keeps North America going, for as small as we are? And Cage complains at me that I don't type GG when we play. People like this, okay, that what have they done physically to you to hurt you? And when you put them on the spot, they don't have an answer, Mike. All they do is project.
Yeah.
Oh, that's all it is.
Yeah.
The insecurities of their own issues at home or on the internet because they know they've been acting like an asshole. That, listen, I said this like 2 years ago. As soon as I saw Artosis mauled in rage, and he got viewers and donations and shit, like it wasn't about the money to me. I go, he is such an articulate caster to the game of StarCraft. Gage, I just like watching you mauled. That's what it is. Honestly, it works 100% of the time. Because you're so wholesome, Cage. I just like to get fucked and then I leave. And I'm not going to tell you a good game, dude. I don't want to go to your head. Like, why would I want to give you anything positive?
He's busting your He's busting your ball.
Yeah, I'm busting your balls 100%, Cage. But if you saw me like in my Twitch, and I'm like, he played really well that game. He got coached by Todd. I can tell. But your undead is fucking dog shit. I mean, let's be honest. All joking aside, like CB Wonder could probably play better undead than that, and he can't even see anything. All kidding aside, because it's all jokes, it's sad, Mike, that people don't want to see happiness. They don't want to see the community grow. And the same people that say, "Oh, we need more of this in the community," shit on the same community. So, like I said, being sniped is not fun. And when you don't even hide it, when you try to justify it, makes it 1,000 times funnier that you're the biggest scumbag in the channel. And then because, Mike, you have done nothing but tried to promote North America Warcraft 3 since I've known you. And that's something I've been getting behind because you know what? When I played, it was short round, Canuck, not a lot of people, if I'm going to be honest. If we're going to look at like U5 and SRS Gaming, like when Sonky played, this is going back like 400 years ago. Like when North America Gaming, like even the game I was in. But if I'm going to be 100%, it's like all you do is ruin everything else around you. And they don't see the repercussions of that because they are so short-sighted. Right? Someone asked me yesterday, Doom, you act like this. And I go, I act like this because it gets me views. Being totally honest. I treat my stream like World Wrestling. Okay? You put on a character, you treat people a certain way. You know what it does though, Mike? It attracts attention. It gets the people talking. It gets them to come into your channel. And by that, I collect ad revenue off your dumbass. and it works 100%. That you are somebody so negative that all you can do is gravitate towards them because he goes, "What is wrong with this guy?" And then you find out that he saves lives for a living, and then he comes here and he acts like this. Like, I don't understand the conundrum. But when when I DM you, yo, bro, you good? What's going on in your life? I'm worried about you. It's not me to gloat. It's because I genuinely care about everybody, Mike. And you know that from the conversations we've had.
Mm-hmm.
It's not, I'm not justifying my actions. I'm telling you because it draws views. Because people rather watch the villain arc than the heroic arc. And that's why people crap on you, Mike, because you're such a good, wholesome guy that they don't want to see happiness. They don't want to see the good in the community. They don't want to see somebody actually doing good. That whatever they got going on in their brain, negativity is so much easier than positivity. It takes less muscles to frown than to smile. That's
Well,
all you need to know about life.
well, I'll tell you guys about social media. If any of you guys are on X and you follow me on X, I know Doom does. Um, Before and as well as since Elon Musk has taken over, social media is probably like the scorn of the earth. It is terrible for people. It's terrible for women. It's terrible for your image, your portrayal of yourself, your self-esteem. It creates depression, and people are so hooked to technology and stuff like this. I mean, this stuff is amazing that we can do this, but social media is also really bad for you, right? And I'm on X, Twitter, and I've tried and I've been there. I started my X account for watching sports news and reading stuff for fantasy sports in 2016, and then I just did nothing with it. And then during the pandemic, when it started around 2019 or whatever it was, um, or something, I think a little bit later, then I picked it up again and I was trying to interact with people, but I needed it for one of my courses for university for administration because it was part of the marks. You had to engage with communities and stuff. So I was up my alley because at that time already, I was up to like 12,000 followers or something like that because I was engaging with people in the community of education and I was trying to be positive and really go down that avenue, that type of thing. And the algorithms and Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and then Twitter/X, they don't favor the positive stuff unless you're already somebody who's been propelled to stardom as a celebrity. It's all geared towards negativity and repetition and recycled content. So if you go follow me now, I went from sports to writing to sports to education to writing to podcasting, and I've kind of pulled people from all those communities to entertainment, and I just ask questions. I ask super serious questions or wrong answer only questions. They're kind of entertainment, they're kind of funny, they're kind of silly, sometimes they're serious. And I asked a question about super serious question, are there any people over 50 on X or something like that? And I got 2.3 million impressions on that post. And I can ask, I could tweet something about motivation and be like, you know what, get up every day, go look in the mirror and say, I'm amazing, I'm gonna do well, and I'll get 5 comments or 1 comment on it. So you kind of streamlined into that stuff. They don't want you to look for that stuff unless your account or you're a celebrity status, you're already kind of there. You're kind of already established. So like people are so hooked to that negativity and that type of nonsense. I don't want to say that not, but it falls into the same category of the content's kind of nonsense in the terms of like useful, useless information that's constantly consumed to bring them back to get addicted to, and then they'll be addicted to negative personalities, repetitive content, fear factor based content, stuff like that, which the news is very heavy on everywhere, whether you're watching this station or that station. So all of it's the same, right? And it attracts certain people, right? It attracts certain people. So, if you follow me on X now, which now I'm pushing 50,000 people on my Twitter account, it's very much the same. In fact, I think it's even worse now because everything's so everyone's so desensitized to everything, and they're so everything's so hyper politicized, and you know, people, and I'm not blaming Republicans or Trump, but when Trump got into power, it felt like everybody felt like they can say and do what they want. And then this pendulum swings. You couldn't say or do anything, and then you could swear and do anything, and it goes back and forth. And people don't know where the boundaries are. It's like they don't even care anymore. They're going to come in and harass you because they don't care. They don't care what they say. They don't care if they're harassing you in Twitch. They don't care if they're, you know. So yeah, going back to your persona, it's like a type of content, and people are consuming your content and Doom content, and anybody knows you're not like that, but you're putting on a show at the same time. I, on the other hand, kind of maybe stuck myself in between two rocks where I can't be like that. I can't be the bad guy,
If I'm going to be honest, Mike, like I started watching a couple of Direct Strike players. They stream. Shout out to Explosive 24.
Yeah.
He's so wholesome and positive. He's such a great guy that I go, this is a breath of fresh air from what I normally watch or what I normally play with. And I even said this the other day, like how opening and the arms open of the Direct Strike community. I'm talking from 1,900 to 2,400 MMR players. So like the pros that play Direct Strike, they come in my channel and they spam EMA, which makes me laugh 1,000 times because I checked the Direct Strike channel on War 3 Champions and they have no idea what the EMA means. which makes it, but it comes to the point of if you say it enough, they believe it and they join it. So now I get viewers from the Direct Strike community, but I'll tell you what, I started playing Direct Strike more because of the community, but how wholesome they are and uplifting of if I make a bad choice, they go, oh, this should work because of this. They try to justify my bad actions without degrading me in a certain way, as opposed to 4v4, well, you're just dumb or you're stupid. That because if you do that in Direct Strike, you get banned. So the linear is, well, if you act like an asshole, we're going to treat you like an asshole. Where 4v4 is kind of like more the Wild Wild West, which I understand. We get frustrated. We play with the same 30 players. You might have an off game. I'm no angel. Listen, shout out to Fallen Angel for what a great guy. That guy, wife, family, kids. He's got like 30 kids, 5 wives. Handsome guy. You know what? Super wholesome. Shout out to Fallen Angel for a lot of great people. But like you said too, Mike, people are drawn to the negativity. You have vampires everywhere that are drawn to such negativity that makes it easier for more people. And a lot of people are followers. What I mean by followers, if 1 or 2 people do it, say, for instance, I throw a rock through a building and it destroys the building. You know how many people are going to do that because there's no consequence? They're like, wow, this guy is really a Chad because he just did this and there's no consequence. People don't think about the justifications of their own actions or the accountability. I could tell you, fuck it, I'm going to jail. Other people be like, oh man, look at the brass balls on this guy. I'm going to go join in with him. You watch somebody do something different, maybe falls in line with what your beliefs. Maybe you disagree with it, but because it's something so obtrusive and something so obtuse and something so out there, they're going to do it because of the fact they don't know what else to do. They're followers.
I think we've touched upon so many different points and things that have afflicted the community and what we've experienced. And we'll tie it back into the league, and the point we're bringing up with everybody is that guys, it's free money. We don't need your bullshit. Events are free, community's free, engagement's free, And if you want to contribute, we appreciate it. The money's coming from the community, coming from ad revenue. And if you have constructive feedback about stuff, by all means. If you're going to pout and be upset because you lost to somebody, or somebody's a little bit better than you, or you didn't prepare, my biggest pet peeve is the scheduling and, people bowing out and signing up, be like, I want to sign up, want to play, and then not playing. And then you have to be either removed, replaced, or just given 0 and 5. Like that stuff's not okay.
I have the big issue with that too.
And like I get it, life happens. But if you can't sign up because you have a busy schedule, don't sign up. Sometimes, and there's a couple of players that reached out to me and said, look, I can't play here for a week and this and that. It's fine, no problem. Like things happen, or there's a death in the family, or you got a car accident. Like things happen, but it can't happen all the time. It's like the boy who cried wolf. Like you just can't cry all the time and complain. It's like, like there's, and I've been really clear about this. It's an NA league. These are NA hours. It's NA servers. There's Europeans. We have one division with no NA players, and that's fine. Norchikar is winning that division right now, and that's fine. But and you guys schedule yourselves accordingly. But if you're facing an NA player and you're in Germany, and yeah, the NA player is going to try to make it, try to accommodate you and try to play a time that's suitable for you. But it's an NA league. Just because you don't want to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning and play your W3C, your league division match, does not mean we haven't done it. I've done it. I've stayed up till 2 o'clock in the morning to play a match. I've gone up at 5 o'clock in the morning to play a Peon League match a couple seasons ago, right? Doom 2. And then, and I'm reading the messages on all the channels. The guys like, 9 a.m. I can't get up at 9 a.m. to play Warcraft. Why? Do you see what Norchikar does? Norchikar sets his alarm to come play in all these leagues and tournaments. Like that's dedication. That's somebody who wants to play and benefit from the camaraderie and the engagement with people and loves the game. Don't come cry to me because you're too tired and you can't make a cup of coffee and stay up late or play. If you don't want to be here, don't play. It's an NA league. That's number one. That and scheduling and people ghosting. And I've said from the beginning, be active, be around, check your messages. You don't have to play all your games at once. You can play all of them at once. You can play them over a stretch of 2 weeks. You can play them all in one day, whatever works. But at least be active, communicate, and schedule your games. I'm not scheduling the games for you. And people couldn't do that. And let's be honest, most of these people are grown adults. Some from one of them is 18. Everybody else are grown ass adults.
Yep.
Figure it out. Like
Totally
if you can't figure it out, don't fucking play. Like get out of here. It's and now people have developed a rap a record, a rap sheet that I'm gonna keep a running record of. So and so did this and this and this is, and so when we do a season 2, guess what? You're on the bottom of the barrel, and I could just say no. Like you don't have to be included. I don't have to include anybody. I just want to include people who are gonna be have sportsmanship, act appropriately. I'm not saying don't say dirty jokes or don't be funny or don't stream with your shirt off like Doom does. I'm not saying that. I'm saying, kind of conduct yourselves.
100 degrees in my apartment.
Well, listen, I should have put a tank top on. It's freaking hot in here. But like, there's a certain way to act, and it's okay to be silly and funny and whatever the case may be. But like, it's like childish. It's childish.
Mike, I'm totally, it breaks my heart because I'm at work. I'm charting. I got patients, with the rare gift of a couple of decisions, and life or death, and some that pass away and some that keep living. And then I get my coffee, or I'm in the bathroom, or I say I'm charting, but it's more like I try to look like I'm charting. I'm gonna be honest. I look at my phone. Okay, don't scrutinize me for this. I still do my med checks, blah blah blah, whatever. I'm just saying, it breaks my heart that, and this is what I said earlier, people want it both ways without their skin involved. And I would have no problem throwing in like a $5, say like a security deposit for a league or some kind of accountability to keep you going. I know you're not going to rob the players because listen, if I put in $5 and everybody in the league, that's 5 people, puts in 5, nobody's gonna drop. That's 25. Maybe the pool goes up to 50 or 75. But how many people that you wouldn't expect to drop out or to go? It's very disheartening, especially like as a caster. Like I make arrangements in my schedule to like, oh, I'm gonna go cast this, and then you're like, oh no, I can't do it. Oh no, I can't do it, or I'm busy.
Well,
What happened?
it's kind of like fantasy sports where people are like it's $20 buy-in for the season for the year, buy
Yeah,
in and then you don't like because people like I've done it. I used to run fantasy hockey leagues and I had over a couple years at least one or two people every year that just kind of ghosted and didn't pay, and then I started doing okay, pay 2 years up front before, and they're like no, they didn't want to because they're like they couldn't do that commitment, but like you're gonna do it anyways, like, and I don't want to chase people for $10 and $20, and
correct.
I used to play a lot of sports, tons of sports, and I used to play in ball hockey teams because I got a bad knee and an ankle, so I couldn't play ice hockey, but I play in these ball hockey teams. And one time I was like, okay, I had enough of playing on everybody's team. I'm gonna go make my own team. And we were Mayo Cup MMR hockey players. Like we were not good, and we would, I just let's just go play and have fun and try to get into the play in a lower division, and we'd still get killed, but because everybody's so good and they've been playing for a long time. But like it's not cheap. Like some seasons were $80 a person for 14 game season to rent the facility, and then you maybe playoffs. It's like, okay, one time I forked the money for a guy because we desperately needed a player, no problem. At another time, a guy who ghosted me for 3-4 months, and he had the money, and I knew his girlfriend, and I messaged her and I was like, can you tell your boyfriend to give me the money? Like, this is ridiculous. Like I need the money. I forked it out for him. He played and had a good time. It's 4 months later. And then the guy like loses it because his father passed away. But his father didn't pass away during the hockey time. He passed away later. It had nothing to do with one or the other. And he was upset that I contacted his girlfriend. And this was like, it's like, what am I supposed to do? Go knock on your door for the money? Like, things happen. I get it. But there's also people who generally or have a purpose in mind, whether to be disingenuous or whatever the case may be. If we ever did something like that, I don't think buy-ins for a league unless it was had enough players that were in a division. Like if everybody was in the division and they were all 1200 MMR, like really all 1200 MMR, and there was 10 of them, and say, okay guys, we're gonna do not just a best of 3, we're gonna do a regular season like hockey, 44 games or whatever the case may be. So you're gonna have 2 best of 3s against each opponent. So that's like season, right? Like something nobody does. Yeah. Okay, you buy in $20 or $10. Maybe people would say, okay, because they have a shot of actually winning, and you would break down and give more prize pools, like from the top down or something like that. Maybe the kids, but in this circumstance, I don't think anybody would want to do $5. They just wouldn't play. So, as much as it's a great idea, I just don't see people doing it. And again, like I don't want people to do it. I just want them to show up and play if they're interested, and I would say the majority of people have. So we'll shout out to all the players that have completed their regular season games, which your division, Slate A's division, so A, C, and D, I think, completed their regular season games, and Doom won his claimed first place today in his division and stuff. Like
it's wild series.
Wild series.
That's wild series.
And like there's been some like Phil like a mill, who
shout out to Phil, baby. I watch his stream. Like go watch his stream, man.
We're gonna get him up to speed with casting and stuff like that. But he's casted a couple games and he's turned his stream. Like he's a great guy. Forest Spirit. Like these guys are lower MMR guys, but they're community driven guys who showed up and played. And Hyperreal and Slate A's a staple in the community that came back. And
I just want to give a big shout out to Panda Saudis. Okay, this guy's been a moderator on my channel for 2 years, and he had some questions about gameplay, I give like 2 pieces of advice. Now he's like #1 ranked in his division. Insane. Absolutely insane, crushing it.
Yeah,
Shout
and
out to Panda.
there's Panda, there's Pain, there's BP Woody we've known for a while, and always had positive interactions with Hungry Tea and King Evil and Rico. I don't know too much, but been super nice guy with everybody. I go down the list. Like we've only
A
really,
lot of great people. A lot of great
I
people.
would say we
A lot.
only really had some difficulties with like 4 or 5 people, and some of them are coming around and getting their stuff together. Like in truth, Glave's a great community guy. The top division, what we have, the 2,000 plus MMR division, because I'll address this now, was not supposed to happen. I was really just looking for 1,600, 1,500 and under, and a lot of grassroots divisions because I felt like that's where I'm best suited um, in terms of what I wanted to do. And people came and reached out to me and asked, "Can we do this?" And I was like, "But we have to find players." Okay, that's no problem. Let's do it. Like we were starting out. Let's do it.
Yeah.
So we had four 2,000 MMR players, and then we were looking for people, and then Hitman reached out and was like, "I want to play. If you need somebody, I will play." That's what he said, and I said, "Okay, I'll get back to you." And Carson was going to play. Carson was supposed to play in that group, and he can't because he's got a busy schedule and he's all over the place and couldn't commit, right? But was interested, and that would have been cool, but it didn't happen. Fine, no problem. So we were looking for people, and we had guys sign up, and then I said, "Hitman, we got a spot. Do you want to take it? Because I'd prefer to have 6 and not just 5." And he's like, "Yeah, sure, I'll play. I'll play human. I'll play human. I won't play orc." And in NA Cups, he plays Night Elf, and there's some people that have issues with Hitman because of things he's done or said in the past, and there's apparently a lot of things people have issues with other people have done and said in the past. Ed Williams would come and give you a running list of all those people, and Disengage will come tell you a running list of all these people, and Baron will tell you a list of running people. I don't know everything, and I'll try to. I can't ban everybody and mute everybody. I can't go inquire about people's behaviors and why did you ban this person from your channel and do this. Conversations that you have with me privately, I don't go or repeat with people unless you're harassing me and I need to.
Mike, I'll get out in front of this too, and it's not to defend anybody. It's just strictly this is what it is. Like I've never had an issue with people like Hitman. Hitman has been always cordial with me. Okay, I was just with, as you saw, Mike, I was with Ricky a few weeks ago. Shout out to Bidu. He invited me to come out to a hockey game this Friday. I can't do it, Sag. But Hitman has been a guy for the NA American Dream, and 4v4 play when he took over 4v4 from Solo. He took that thing over by storm. Me personally, I'm gonna show you all my DMs. He's never said one bad thing to me. I said, "Hey man, we got the finals going." He's like, "Sorry about that. I'm ready for like NA cups or anything like this, Mike." When I ask him, I go, "Hey, you ready?" I go, "I don't want to kick you out of the tournament." He goes, "Yeah, I'm good." Sorry. Not a. He's never been a jerk to me. So when other people say things like this with evidence, I go, "Well, it's hard to just." I'm not defending him. I'm just saying it is what it is. Like me, I've never had a bad altercation with him at all, or some other players, because a lot of people are very respectful to me. It could be for a lot of reasons. Maybe the pool, maybe what they think I am, or for whatever reason. But I also go like, you shouldn't treat other people like that. This is bullshit, because I've also said that to people privately as well. I said, why is that necessary? You're 30 something years old.
Yeah.
I again, not defending. Like I said, Baron has a lot of, shout out to Baron. Shout out to Baron TV. Great guy. Shout out to the lawyer of the internet. A lot of stuff I take with him, I hold it to my chest, because what he says is very factual, and he has evidence. I'm not here to start drama. I'm just saying, if there is a problem, normally the receipts are there. is all I'm saying. I'm not
Yeah.
here bashing anybody. I'm just saying everybody has a footprint, regardless of you like it or not. Every action has a reaction, and I've known that since I've been a kid, since my dad has instilled that upon me that if you act like a jerk, jerks are going to come after you. What you attract is what's going to come after you.
Yeah, and going back to the hitman thing, similar interactions. I mean, there's one time he just didn't show up for the cup, and we're waiting on him, and he fell asleep, and stuff happens. Whatever, it's happened. He's had issues. He's been muted on W3C. He's had issues. I've given certain people a certain leash, or a renewed leash that maybe shouldn't have or should have, and then they go and they kind of repeat offended, and then it's like, okay, like you've been banned, like we were saying earlier.
Yeah.
We've banned people for stuff, and the sniping and that kind of stuff. Like I just don't want to hear it. But going back to this situation, he volunteered to be, and I said, all right, no problem, I play. And certain, I'd say, viewers didn't like that, and addressed that privately, and then didn't like the answers that I gave, and then decided that he or this person and a couple other people wanted to leave the Discord and unfollow me, and now don't talk to me in Twitch chats because they didn't like the disagreement because Hitman is rude to them. Listen,
Mike, that's
I
life.
I've I've done some stuff. Okay, guys, like I worked hard in my life. I've had some really scary situations with people coming up to me in real life that most of you would shit your pants. Okay, and I take care of myself very well. So sticks and stones, like somebody's talking to me poorly, or banning me from a channel, or I'm not the police, right? Like I can't police what people say to you, but again, if there's certain people that already have a history of racism and stuff like that, it's really like there's receipts for it. We're not going to let you participate, and we haven't. So that's my point, and that's the regards to the Hitman situation in the league for the last division. It's can't ban everybody, and I can't.
Well, that's my whole thing, Mike, is should we police everybody? Because you know what? Every time we all get frustrated, and I'm not defending Hitman at all. I'm saying I've had 0 bad altercations with Hitman. And this goes back to like when I first started playing Warcraft. And when he started streaming, I asked a question. He generally broke it down for me. Can I say that for everybody? No, because I've seen the evidence there.
Yeah, I'm not referring to you, Baron, by the way, in terms of that.
But also, like, there's other people that people get angry about. Oh, Doom, you hang out with this? I don't hang out. Listen, have they wronged me? No. So how can I say on an interaction that I've done with, by word of mouth, that I only get a half truth? I don't know the full story. That you want to paint a certain picture. I'm not defending anybody. This is how life works, because between two truths is the actual truth, right? So Hitman plays human. Hitman can play elf. I'm going to tell you what, guys. I have a deeper understanding of a few people. It's not my place to say, because what have they done to me? I know some other interactions deeply to real life for people. I'm no angel. I don't claim to be EMA Qraut. Like, people rather watch the villains anyway. So I think part of it too, Mike, was what we said earlier: the shock value, the villain in the room, the villain arc. Some people just like how people say how it is.
Shout out to Grinchy Uno for
Grinchy
for the raid and the being part of the NASF league as a player and an official. It's been terrific. And Ren Cup is February 8th. So make sure you sign up for that, and the link is in our Discord as well as their Discord. So Grinchy's got a third. He got third in the poetry tournament tonight. Yeah, awesome, dude. But you're first in my
You got
heart.
screwed because you didn't talk about your feelings again. EMA, dude.
EMA.
Listen, let me talk about this poetry, okay? I remember 8 months ago, Grinchy live streamed a poem, okay? And there was a woman that literally
I know what you're talking about.
literally just a whole rap. And there was another woman that talked about mashed potatoes, and she got first place. I'm like, you're 600 pounds talking about mashed potatoes. Unreal. Like, listen, and the look on Grinchy's face, he made something so organic, so thought-provoking, something from the soul. He lost to a 575-pound woman with green hair. Okay, that's all I need to know, that poetry is rigged, okay? My man is out here on the streets pushing it hard, talking about life, and you lose to mashed potatoes and gravy? I can't stand for this. Let my people go. Grinchy, you should be first place.
Well, Grinchy's the definition of a spoken word poet that's definitely would win in other tournaments in other areas. I know a couple of them in Ontario, and he's art, man. And the people that you go up against are just, I've seen some of those, and they're just horrible. Like you know,
horrible.
they're horrible. I know.
Horrible.
Listen, I write poetry,
Horrible.
and
makes me want to drink another beer. I'm so mad at how they talk about society. They do no wrong.
look at Qraut. He says,
EMA.
"We had a chick whining and talking about nachos, and men are mean."
Yeah.
Oh boy!
It's on. Mike, imagine talking about a microwave pizza
And she won.
for 10 minutes that has nothing to do with what the topic of the poems were supposed to be about. And she still gets first place. I'm not here to be political. I'm just telling you how it is.
I've watched some of his poetry streams over the last year and two, and I've seen them, and I've seen how bad they are, and I just don't understand. But you know, sometimes I don't say the events are rigged, but if you surround yourself with a certain type of
All women. EMA. Women. EMA.
ideology, or you know, cut from the same cloth, you're gonna unfortunately have to play by their rules. So Grinchy, you want to win first place all the time, you gotta start talking about your feelings and mashed potatoes.
Listen, as soon as that woman was, Mike, she was in a cupboard talking about mashed potatoes, I was 420'd out of my mind. So two things happened. I ordered mashed potatoes, and she also got first place. Disbelief was ensued, and I saw Grinchy's face. Like, he ripped his shirt off, he threw his chair on the ground, he uninstalled Warcraft 3, he said Buff Warden, all within like 7 seconds. I go, what is this fat boo from Dragon Ball Z doing? You just hit on every point that is wrong about poetry. And that's when I knew EMA poetry. Listen, we're going to create, Grinchy, you're going to hear me out now. I am going to run a poetry contest. Okay, we'll get the funds going. No liberals, just real authentic art. And we are going to award people. I'm going to get a group of judges. I don't know if Qraut's going to be there or not. Definitely Mike. Mike is civil. Shout out to Mike. Mr. Mike NTL. Follow him. Sub to him. Shout out to NASF. Okay.
Qraut is Qraut is a good agent.
Why can't
by
you
the
be
way.
my agent?
Yeah.
Why can't you be my agent, Qraut? I stream 20 hours a day, and you don't even say hello to me? I had enough. I'm walking out. But in all seriousness, Mike, I would like to have a North America poetry contest. Can we get that going?
They have them here.
No. I'm talking on Twitch. We'll make it happen.
By Warcraft poets.
We will investigate everybody and make sure it's not rigged.
You have to check their MMR.
If it's above 1,000, you're out. Sorry.
Hmm.
Oh, I guess Grinchy, you lose that one too. Rip.
Yep.
No, in all seriousness, I would like to have an authentic. Poetry is life, Mike.
I can't.
Music is life.
I can't do what Grinchy does. He memorizes poems and goes and uses his whole body and speaks from the heart and says and memorizes them. I can't remember any of mine I've written over the years. I can't even remember.
What a
Yeah.
noob uninstall.
I can't.
Reina.
I can't even remember if I'm for a piss this morning. Like it's. Yeah. Anyways, that's my issues. But humans are imba, buff undead. I can't effing expand because I'm always harassed. There you go. There's some Warcraft for you.
Well, listen, I got some Warcraft knowledge for you too. Buff Siege Tanks 5 movement speed, nerf everything else. I'm good.
Well, for those of you that are popping in, and we're gonna. This will be a standalone episode that will be part of the Call to Arms. And not only do we have done interviews, but we're also going to start talking about league stuff and hopefully get some of the playoff winners on the chat and maybe do a season-ending review with some of the admin teams and bring more than two of us on, and actually bring a couple of us. But I don't want to start any conspiracy theories. But a couple of the players in the league or admins actually won the divisions. North Chakar won his division, Slade won his division, and Doomtrain won his division, and they're all admins in the league. So, conspiracy.
Hey, listen, it's not a conspiracy. I got flamed last week by shout out to Fourth H. He flamed the crap out of me because whatever strategy I did, it didn't matter. The salty tears came out. I hope to play him in the finals just so I can rub his cheeks and collect $50 and tell him EMA right after that. Mike, I do have a question for you though.
Yeah.
What
no shit from anyone.
This year going forward?
Yeah.
What is your vision for Warcraft 3?
Personally, from my end of things, I feel like we'll try to continue what we're doing. I'll try to personally stream as much as possible, but I'm going back to work February 10th, so I won't be able to stream. I've been streaming often and late, and so I'll probably be streaming 2 or 3 times a week, which is what I like. If I could swing more, I will. Not to personally stream so you guys can watch me, but to stream to contribute to whatever we're doing. I want to continue the NA Cups. I want to do a season 2 of the league and expand on that. And kind of those would be like pillars for the Discord to be like, we're doing this, we're doing this, we're doing this, we're doing this. Bring in more people that want to do casting, because I can't cast all the matches. It's not physically possible at the times and where I'm available. So there's me, there's you, fantastic that Phil Mill wants to take an interest in it, and we can kind of train him and do that kind of stuff. And bring in some, I made some recruitment rules for people in the Discord, but we're looking for more people to join the Discord. And Cageman also tried to cast a couple of matches. We want more people in the Discord, but we don't want just people in the Discord to be there. We want people to be there to participate and be there. Like, again, if you're in mine right now, the show match Discord, I have people in there that are streamers that don't play Warcraft. And I'm open to other people coming and sharing their content. It's totally fine. To me, it's like bringing other viewers to the scene as an audience. That was always my vision, was to bring outside people to watch. And maybe they don't watch for an hour, but they pop in here and there, and it kind of like build a different type of viewership or whatever. But it kind of works, because there are people that don't stream Warcraft that come watch on YouTube, and they come watch on Twitch. Sometimes they pop in and out. So I'd like to continue that. So, with the Discord growth and stuff like this. And then hopefully I will get my basement relatively finished by the end of the summer, because I don't know if you guys know, I'm in the living room now, and I got 2 monkeys, and it's very hard to stream all hours of the day or anytime. I got 2 monkeys, but We're doing, I think, yes, Saturday we were doing plumbing all day downstairs, and I'm helping my parents out with stuff at home, at their home. My father fell sick last year, and been helping them out, and he almost passed away, and that was consumed a lot of my time. And then I had my concussion last year or 2 years ago now. I don't remember. There's been a lot of stuff. There's other stuff going on in my private life that I use this as my distraction to keep me sane, and that's why I don't have to be the best player, but I could chat with you guys and cast and
100%.
do that kind of stuff. So I'd like to build upon what we've done and continue doing it. I don't see myself going away anytime soon, and I'll try to make myself more stable and schedule so people can tune in, because I know schedule is nice. Friday nights, maybe Wednesday nights, Friday nights, and then a bonus stream if I'm available. Really depends what's going on, but maybe I'll see the light of day when I pass 1600 MMR. I almost got there. Maybe.
Mike, I want to give a big shout out to you for all that you have done for North America. I truly appreciate what you've done. The NA Cups, Mayo Cups, Friday Night Fights, the NASF League, what you have given back to the grassroots of a dying community of America. I truly appreciate what you have done between Fountain Manor and Gym League. You have done such a nice segue to just keep the embodiment of North America going. It's beautiful, these ideas that you bounce off of and the events. I think it's absolutely wonderful that no financial backing. You just have an idea, and you've gone with it, and you are balls deep of keeping people happy. And what I also like, Mr. Mike, that you are so Canadian that you don't insult anybody, but you insult everybody. So people that act like a clown, in the most genuine Canadian way, you say back to the lobby, but it's something more like "have a nice day," and we all know what you mean. And it's just the fact that I look forward to watching your cast, watching your streams, seeing you grow not only as a player, as a caster, as an embodiment of North America. I truly appreciate that you have your own Liquipedia page, that you have done so many good things since I've met you a couple years ago. And obviously the private conversations we've had that we're people, and pick your brain, pick my brain. What you have done, and you don't give up, and I love that. You don't give up.
I don't know what to say, but I appreciate the kind words. But it's if I imagine that people didn't like me, they wouldn't be hanging around or chatting or coming to the stream and stuff like that, or being in the Discord for the most part. I mean, there's some people that are there just to be there because they want to keep tabs on events, which is the whole point, right? But I shout out to Slay Day, because Slay Day is the guy that I had all these in-depth conversations with about doing Show Match Friday and just wrapping our heads around an event. And I had talked to him a while ago about, let's do a league. And then, in real life stuff happened, and then he had to step away from the scene for a while. And, there was a time where we were doing show matches and he was scheduling them and reaching out to people legit. We had Pato versus Inspired at Best of 5 at one point. We'd done some matches like that, and maybe we've gotten away from the show matches in general, but in the end, it's just the name of the Friday event in the Discord, and doesn't have to be exclusive to that. And we've kind of evolved, and it's mostly about, where does everybody come from? Well, they're coming from the Warcraft 3 community. They're coming from Jim. They're coming from Fountain Manor. Some people are from W3C that just kind of showed up, or some people from Battle.net just kind of showed up, be like, hey, just discovered this. And it's like,
Shout out to Waste Management.
Waste Management, yeah. I appreciate you, buddy, and everything you do and the amount of hours you put in. And there's a lot of
Right.
people that are staples in the community, like Baron and Wantu and all those guys that put in the legwork, and just it's a small piece of pie, and I enjoy it.
Mike, I would like to take this to give an open challenge to Cage for a Friday night fight, best of 5, all random. We're both random. Let's go.
What's funny about that is that I'd mentioned that to him the other day. It's like we should do a show match with you as an all random best of 5.
You know what? I still want to get him in a best of 5 ever since you know what? One day I met him on ladder, and he was like, it was so funny because he flayed me. He's like, I type GG when I lose. I was like, well, he lost like 15 minutes ago, and he still stayed in the game. And he said something. I was like, I would have just left, not disrespectfully. Like, I was like, I need to go, and I'm like, I really just want to play, like, because we always talk about it. Like, I asked Cage a few times, like, can we just do a best of 5 or a best of 7 show match? For the fans, but it's because I really do respect Cage, and I love his insight, and I love his molding, because when we play fours together, I try to give him tips, and he does the exact opposite, which makes sense in his solo games. And no, he's such a cool dude. He flames me for it, but I go, literally, I died to the one night I played on ladder against him, Mike, and I lost my hero to a critter that blocked my archmage, and I died.
It happens.
How can I type GG after I just died to a fucking sheep? Okay, like I go for this death push, it looks good, and the critter on Hammerfall just kind of fucks you, and you die. Okay, I was tilted. You know what? I wasn't even mad at it. And then he comes in like a couple days later, and then like Cage, like 8 months. I really want to do like a best of 5 or a best of 7 show match with him. I'll take some Twitch money. I'll throw up like $50 to the winner, 25, whatever we want. He's much better than I am. I don't play solo, obviously. This is not me tooting my own horn. It's because of the respect and admiration I have for Cage. I truly would like to play him again, and getting second place in our Fountain of Manor kind of on my CL Tower push kind of EMA. Anyway,
there's a challenge, the open challenge show match to Cage live on Call to Arms.
Listen, I have no shirt on. Listen, Cage. One day when you're not busy, you let me know. I'll make time on a Friday night for you, and we'll do it. I'll throw 25 or $50. You're free rolling. You specifically. Don't ask Todd to coach you. Don't ask Todd to play for you. I want you. You. Okay, this is like Ivan Drago, and Rocky 4. Okay, all right. I'm Carl Weathers.
He doesn't coach random.
Yeah, I mean, I still smell BS from you, Cage. Anyway, GG.
Are you gonna match the prize, Cage? Put the 25 up to 25. We'll hang the money over a ladder.
Oh, dude, that'd be sick. We do a ladder match.
Oh, I used to do backyard wrestling when I was like 12, and with a couple friends of mine, and we'd go into his backyard, which was a freaking dumpster, but there was everything you can think of, and I'd jump off a balcony and give him a flying elbow through a picnic table and stuff. And this little old like white lady comes by, and she's like opens the gate, barges into and she sees me beating the crap out of him with a freaking garbage can. And he was smaller to me then too, this kid, and he got me good too. He got some licks in, and she just was like, I'm gonna call the cops on you and all this stuff, and da 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 da. And anyways, did all that stuff. And then at one point I got to wrestle in a ring in front of 1,000 people in a real ring, and put on a very good match. And then I gave a guy a concussion by accident, but that's another story.
Gage, I'm gonna give you a concussion by playing pallet tanks and this Zeppelin dropping 7 tanks into your base, 3 upgrades, and then I say GG noob out.
Oh man, this is gonna be good. It's gonna be good.
Someone, I got a Discord message yesterday,
Yeah.
Mr. Mike, about my trash talking. They said, "You are the Lex Luthor of Warcraft 3."
Then who is the Superman of Warcraft 3?
Just the way, because he just saw me trash everybody. He's like, you are Luther, dude." Because English isn't his native language, so he used a translator. But he's like a fan of Superman. So he goes, he meant the right ruthless, but he wrote Luther.
You were the Lex Luthor
He
of
meant
trash
the right
talk.
ruthless.
That's good.
It was the funniest thing. He was like, dude, you were just going it. No, but all seriousness, Mike. I just want to say thank you for all that you do for the community. Keep grinding. I check you out on Twitter. Shout out to Mr. Mike MTL on Twitter. Shout out to Mr. Mike MTL on YouTube. You have a TikTok, Mike?
I do, but I just post whatever I have on YouTube on there, and it's not exciting. I don't know, 4,000 people on there, but it's not really exciting. I'm there.
This is a great place, Mike. What you do for the community, you're essential. You're a pinnacle part. You are a pillar of NA Warcraft 3.
Well, hopefully we revive it a little bit, and we get some more people, and don't be afraid. If you're grassroots and you want to learn and grow, come play. We're definitely going to do a season 2. We're just we're waiting to get through season 1 and crown all the champions, which, by the way, every champion will be getting a W3C portrait assigned to them at the end on top of prize pools. And if anybody wants to donate, and you'll get a W3C portrait as well. And it's the actually, who has it? I have it. You have it. A couple of people have it already, but actually using it. If you go to your profile, APM50 on W3C Champions, you will see that Doom is using it right now, and I'm using it. And it's the well, I can't lower anything right now. If I lower anything, my whole thing will explode. But you guys get the point.
It's a beautiful icon. Maple leaves with NASF on it. It's well worth it. Listen, all the proceeds go to a great community to help keep the dream going. For us nerds, I get to sit behind a computer after a day's work. It gives us hopes and dreams, aspirations. Mike, I sincerely mean this, that what you do for the community, to really, especially North America, that you found a niche here, especially when people have dropped off or not say forgotten, but you have kept the flame going, so to speak. And we appreciate all that you do. F the haters, just ignore them. People are going to crap on anything that they can because they're negative Nancy's. So all we can do is support you, support us, keep the dream going.
The 51st state of people keeping USA afloat.
That's correct. That's correct. Shout out to Donald Trump, okay?
What?
Making Wagyu great again. Let's hopefully get those food nerfs and on prices, and Canada becomes the 51st state, which I don't understand how that happens.
Tim Hortons is trying to take over Bob Evans. Tim Hortons is crap now.
Tim Hortons is overpriced now. I pay $4 for iced coffee now. It tastes like ass.
A dozen donuts is $15.
Yeah. I get 2 Boston creams is $3. If I get a half dozen, it's like $5. It makes no sense.
I don't know. We can go on rants forever, but we'll save them for next time. This has been Call to Arms, a Warcraft podcast with yours truly, Mr. Mike and Mr. Doomtrain, the Season 1 Division Champion of Division. Oh, wait, I said that wrong. Division C Season 1 NASF Division Champion, and possibly soon to be playoff champion of his division. Thanks for joining me today, buddy. And we will probably do more of these now. You might be my right hand man.
I'm left-handed, so right hand would be good.
Look at Cage coming in. Are you doing FFA now? Well, before we do FFA, I'm going to we're going to wrap this up. I'm going to switch to the regular stuff. And you want to play Doom right now in a best of 5?
There's no way, dude. I had 27 beers today. There's no way I can play right now.
He's got to sober up. We also have to promote it. So next Friday. EMA Doom next Friday. But yeah, Doom, thanks for
And he's so bad.
let me switch out.
Thank you for having me, Mr. Mike. I just again shout out to the NASF League. Please support. I think it's like what, $5 donation to get the icon, $2 donation, whatever you want.
Yeah.
Uninstall.
Listen, it's beautiful. It's a Canadian maple leaf. I want maple syrup now. Again, Mike, I just want to give you a big shout out, hand of applause. You know what? All that you do for the community is not forgotten. So I appreciate you. Thank you for all that you do. And Cage, EMA.
EMA, gentlemen. Thanks, Doom. You're the man. And that's it, guys. So if you want more episodes of Call to Arms, a Warcraft podcast, it's on the YouTube, Mr. Mike MTL. We'll see everybody